Chris, now that we've bonded and we've admitted that we're on the same wavelength, talk me off the ledge. Tell me the sky is not falling in Miami.
Oh, it's falling. It's falling. Sorry.
No.
What a good friend you are, Sims.
Hurricane Helen is literally dropping on you guys. Sorry. I mean,
Oh.
I don't mean to be insensitive there by any. I'm just being funny.
That's okay.
But yeah, I mean, I don't think you disagree with me. I just was talking about this game a few minutes ago. I mean, you guys look like you're in shell shock ever since that injury, ever since it happened. It's like the whole team gave up in belief and fight and everything. And that worries me. Yeah, I mean, I'm picking the Patriots this week because I'm a little bit like, I got to see the Dolphins fight and try to win the game and do it first before I, pick them. And gritty, ugly game just sounds like Patriots, Jacoby Brissett, Gerard Mayo type of win. Now, it stinks you guys lost Skylar Thompson because I do think, no one's going to run the offense like Tua, but Skylar at least could, hey, he's been there. He's had reps in the offense, right? So he could take advantage of some of the tricks that Mike McDaniel has. With a new guy like Tyler Huntley or somebody else, it's going to take a little time. We've seen, the motions, the shifts, all that. There's a magic. There's a feel. There's repetition that goes into making that work that Tua was so good at. So they miss him there. And it gets back to a big thing I think we talked about before the year. And Mike McDaniel has talked about it. They're not the best ugly game. Oh, it's not a free-flying flag football 7-on-7 game. If it's not that, can they win it? They were just trying to find their way in that department. And now they're thrusted into it. And I don't think they've, perfected that by any stretch of the imagination. So, yeah, I think it's big trouble down there in Miami.
So when we were talking about this earlier this week, one thing, and I'm wondering if you saw it the same way, because you obviously look at games differently than we do. The Titans just looked bigger than the Dolphins offense. The Dolphins offense looked really small compared to Tennessee. It seemed as though Mike McDaniel, and we saw, Dominique Foxworth break down film and stuff, running the exact same plays. So he made no adjustment to Tyler. And we were just hoping, Tyler would look at things the same way Tua would. And he missed shots, or he wasn't confident enough with Tyreek knowing where Tyreek's going to break or whatever. So he didn't take shots. He played it safe, right? And Mike McDaniel didn't adjust to the situation. And then towards the end, and you kind of just said it, and I had mentioned it and, was kind of called crazy. It seemed like the Dolphins just weren't in it at the end. They just were going through the motion.
Checked out.
Packed it up. Said, we'll see you next week. Agree. That to me was the most concerning thing is you didn't see fight. There was an intensity lost in the game at some point there in the mid-third quarter where it was just they got us. We're giving up today. And I know they didn't give up, but you know what I'm saying nonetheless. The Titans defense is real, right? It is. They're pretty good and creative in the secondary. They got big people up front, to your point about not looking big. I mean, they got two Texas defensive tackles in the middle that it's 700 pounds of man between the two of them, right? So that they're going to make a lot of offenses look small that way. And then, yes, you can't just run the ball and impose your will physically on that type of team. And now you got a guy that's only been there for a few weeks, and it's hard to trick it up in the pass game and try to take advantage of it that way, let alone, as I've always told you, when teams start to take away some of those little screens and short slants and passes, right, from Tyreek Hill, the offense has struggled with or without Tua. It doesn't matter. That's been an issue. But, yeah, my eyes on Miami. This is big. This is going to be a reflection on Mike McDaniel. Can he coach a different way? Can he come up with a different style of play and still get his team to win and believe in it, right? That's what great coaches do. And can he still get them to answer the bell to physically bring it week in and week out here, even though we're not maybe going to have the same aspirations as we did with or without Tua. So this is, I think a big spotlight on the Dolphins and Mike McDaniel right now.
Well, it seems also like teams have eliminated Tyreek Hill, and that could be either they figured things out or maybe his knee, quote unquote, procedure that he had in the offseason that we found out during the, arrest video maybe was more than just a procedure. Something's going on there.
No, but Billy, I think what Chris is saying is if you're going to be Kyle Shanahan, if you're going to be one of those coaches, you need to figure out a different game plan for Tyreek Hill when Tua's out and different ways to get him the ball, right?
Exactly right. I mean, you saw the Rams last week. They got nobody on offense. Oh, wait, they beat the 49ers, right? I mean, he came up with a game plan, McVay, and worked it out. We've seen the 49ers get through injuries before and work it out. Oh, we got to play this way this week. So what? So be it. This is what we got to do this week. That's what we got to see from Miami. Again, they've showed that they're a front-running football team to a degree. And I'm not trying to say I don't think anybody else has said. They want to be, hey, it's high-flying, the game's loose, and it's 35-24, and we're just going to keep scoring like this. Yeah, that's all great. But then all of a sudden, it's like, wait, hold on, it's 13-10. It's tough. It's physical. And they don't seem to always answer the bell in those moments. So, yeah, what can they get to? Or is it always just like, hey, if we can't get the ball to Tyreek Hill in space, we can't win a game? Tyreek's fine, Billy. I don't think there's anything physically wrong with him. I think it's just the ripple effects of everything that's going on with the football team right now that's really affecting him, let alone it's year 3 with Mike McDaniel in this offense. Everybody in football has stolen plays from them, right? Everybody in football has studied them, right? And so defenses are very used to some of the things they do. And at some point, you got to just go, like the 49ers and what Stugotz is saying, it's like, hey, tricks are cool. But at some point, you just got to go, hey, here's the fucking ball up the middle, smash them, and let's run for 7 or 8. And that's what good teams can do, too. And the Dolphins have not shown the capability of doing that.
The Colts did it mid-game. Like, the game plan for Richardson and Flacco have to be – and it also reminds me, Chris, of, was it the 91 Giants, your dad's team, where they had one of the best offenses in the NFL. Your dad got hurt. Jeff Hostetler came in. And Parcells, being the great coach that he was, he changed the entire game plan and just said, here, we're going to hand it off 40 times a game.
Exactly right. Yeah, my dad is 1990, the year they won the Super Bowl. He was the number 1 rated quarterback in football through 3 weeks of the season. Bruce Smith fell on his foot. They broke his foot, right? He's out for the year. And Bill Parcells and Bill Belichick said, hey, wait, our defense is good. Our O-line's good. We got Otis Anderson. Let's just chew up the clock and run the fucking ball all day. And we'll play D and we'll win games 15-12 and 15-13 and hold the ball for 9 minutes in the Super Bowl against the Buffalo Bills. Yeah, great teams have versatility, right? They can go, wait, this week we got to play like this. Next week we got to play this team. Ooh, we might have to play like that. And we don't see that from the Dolphins right now.
Your dad is still brooding over that injury, right? Because he was going to have the best offensive season he's ever had, right? He's still
it was going to be up there. Yeah, that's one where my dad's cool and he's always realistic, right? And it'd be if he won that Super Bowl and was playing, he'd probably be in the Hall of Fame, right? At the same time, he totally gives credit to Jeff Hostetler always, no matter where he goes, and he'll say things like, "Hey, I don't know if I was the starting quarterback if we could have won 3 straight games in the playoffs like he did." He says it, because again, hey, it's a matchup league. Nothing's given. They had to play the Bears, the great 49er team that was in a 3-peat, right? And then the Bills and all that. So, he certainly respects and is grateful for what Jeff Hostetler did in bringing home the Super Bowl.
He should be in the Hall of Fame regardless.